If you're going through a divorce, it probably doesn't feel like a financial exercise. It likely feels personal, emotional, and uncertain. When significant assets are involved, it can also become one of the most important financial turning points of your life. If you have meaningful income, investments, retirement accounts, or even a business, the biggest financial risks often come from decisions made during the divorce process, before there is time to fully understand the long-term impact of the decisions being made. It's also common that one spouse is less familiar with the assets than the other, which means that if you are that spouse, you can understandably feel like you're at a disadvantage. Having a team that understands the process and can translate the financial lingo can be both helpful and comforting. At PYA Waltman Capital, we've walked alongside clients through the divorce process and through the years that follow. We've seen what works, what doesn't, and where people most often wish they'd slowed down and asked different questions. So why does high asset divorce feel so complicated? It's different because the assets are rarely simple. You may be looking at pre-tax retirement accounts, taxable investment portfolios, real estate, life insurance with cash value, artwork and antiquities, or a business that you helped build. On paper, a settlement can look fair, but in real life, the outcomes can feel very different once taxes, cash flow, timing, accessibility, and day-to-day expenses enter the picture. We often remind clients that the goal is not just to divide the assets, but to understand how those assets will support your life after the divorce. Here are some examples of financial decisions that often create problems later. Not all dollars are equal, even if they look that way. One of the biggest mistakes we see is treating all assets as if they have the same value. For example, you might be offered a $1 million retirement account while your spouse receives $1 million in cash or taxable investments. On paper, it seems equal, but in reality, the retirement account is likely pre-tax. Once you eventually withdraw those funds, a significant portion could go to taxes. We help you look beyond the face value so you understand what those assets are really worth to you. Liquidity is a really important consideration. Here's an example. Business interests often create complexity. You may end up with an asset that produces income but can't easily be sold, while your former spouse walks away with cash or highly liquid investments. Other times, there's not enough liquidity to make a fair settlement for the spouse that's receiving non-business assets, or businesses are not accurately valued. All of these things can create complexities. We've seen situations where one person feels secure early on, while the other struggles with cash flow because their wealth is tied up in an illiquid asset. These issues often surface years later if they're not addressed upfront. Retirement accounts also need to be handled carefully. Dividing retirement accounts is not just a paperwork exercise. Mistakes in structure or timing can lead to unnecessary taxes, penalties, or lost flexibility. We can help you understand what you're actually receiving and how it fits into your long-term plan. The house can become a financial burden, meaning not just the financial house, your actual house. Keeping the family home often feels like the safest choice, but ongoing costs, maintenance, property taxes, and insurance can strain your cash flow, especially if your income changes after your divorce. We can help you evaluate whether keeping the home supports your future or will create stress down the road. Cash flow after divorce is often unclear. Many clients come to us unsure of what life will look like financially on their own. We work with individuals to walk through their cash flow in detail, sometimes for the first time, to understand what spending, saving, and income may look like without their spouse. That clarity often brings relief. It replaces fear with understanding. Divorce is emotional. That's unavoidable. We help you to slow things down, pressure test decisions, and focus on what will serve you not just today, but years from now. With all of that said, let's talk about how our team at PYA Waltman Capital can help. We work alongside your attorney to help you do a few things. Understand what different settlement options actually mean for your life. See the potential tax and liquidity issues before they become problems. Build clarity around cash flow, investments, and retirement accounts, and gain confidence in the decisions, especially if you weren't the one that was deeply involved in the finances previously. Lastly, we help you create a plan that supports the next chapter of your life. Many of our clients come to us feeling overwhelmed or unsure of where to start. The goal is to help you move from uncertainty to clarity, one decision at a time. Ultimately, the settlement is a big step, but it's not the final step in the process. Turning a settlement into a plan you can live with is imperative. Planning ahead before things are settled will provide peace of mind and help you be an advocate for yourself. A divorce settlement divides assets. A financial plan helps you live with those decisions and with the assets that you have. The smoothest transitions tend to happen when you understand your new financial reality clearly, you know what future spending may look like, and you align your money decisions with what matters most to you now. Replace stress and guesswork with structure and confidence. At the end of the day, a high asset divorce involves more than dividing accounts. It requires thoughtful planning, clear communication, and an understanding of how today's decisions will shape tomorrow's life. If you are navigating divorce in Knoxville or East Tennessee, we can help you bring clarity to complex financial decisions and support you through a difficult transition with experience, perspective, and care. At PYA Waltman Capital, we can help you move forward with confidence by aligning your financial resources with your priorities now and into the future.